How's it going, guys? Zach here. Today I'm hoping to show you guys a little bit of how I do my trolling setup on the kayak, because it is a little bit windy today. Ideal conditions for just trolling around. So we'll start at the lure end. I've got this little guy. I think it's called a wedding ring. About 20 inches a leader, 4-pound monofilament. And then a Seps Dodger. I think it's like a 00. Don't call me on that. I'll fix it in the description. Next is about 2 feet of 15, 20-pound mono. And then I've got a 1 ounce weight hooked up to a quick release, which is nice because I can swap out my different weights. So I've got 1 to 3 ounce, which is good enough for this rod. And then I've got a snubber, and this just helps prevent fish from hooking on and then popping off. Gives a little bit more stretch so that the hook stays in their mouth. Got a bunch of swirls along the way, and then this is a little bit more than what you need for lakes, but I use this rod in saltwater too. I think it's 40-pound braid Cast King, which is cheap stuff you can get off Amazon, but I love it. It works really well, and I haven't had any problems. Caught a bunch of salmon on it last year. So my rod is an Eagle Claw Kokanee. It's a really lightweight rod. Get it at Sport & Sports Warehouse or pretty much any of those big box stores for like 20 bucks. And then my reel is an Coldwater Okuma. This is the big version. I wish I'd gotten the slim, but it's good for saltwater. I love it because it obviously has the depth counter. Feels really good in the hand. It's a little heavy, especially for this kind of fishing. But again, they have a low profile version that looks just like a regular bait caster. So yeah, that's the whole setup. Like I said, what I really like about the rod, I don't know if you can see it, I guess you can see it on my back view, is the tip. The tip is really sensitive. I actually bought this for kokanee specifically, and when you're going down to those depths, 30 or 40 feet, and you've got a lot of weight going, you really need that sensitivity to be able to feel the fish. So I mean, it's very visual. I'm a visual fisher. I'm not typically a fisher by feel. I like to watch my rod at all times, and this is a really good rod for giving you a sign of when you have a fish on. The bait that I've been using is this Poutsky's Gold Label Fire Balls of Fire. I've also had luck with power bait. You could probably use worms. I found that the bait is a big deal, so you make sure that if you get a bite and it doesn't commit, your bait's probably gone. So pull everything back up, pull your gear back up, rebait, and get it back down. I guess we can talk about how you fish trolling setup on a kayak. Obviously a pedal drive is more preferred, but you can do it on a paddle kayak. This is what I did before I got my Hobie. What you are going to want to get is a rod holder. You can get these from 10 to 20 bucks. Make sure you get one that has good adjustability in the arms. You can probably see it in my rear view camera here. I like to fish actually with the rod going across the boat, but the way I have my camera set up today, I can't do that. So I would turn this way and have the rod this way. I like that a lot more because I don't have to turn my head constantly when I'm trolling to see if I have any bites, and I feel like the sensitivity increases. Not sure why. So let's talk about trolling speeds and weight. There's a really handy guide online, bunch of different websites that tell you the amount of weight that you need to get to a certain depth based on a specific speed, which I think is 1.5 miles per hour. So you can print this out. So today I've been going at around 10-foot depth because they're pretty high up on the surface. They just stock the lake, so these fish are everywhere. But I like to keep it nice and slow, and you want to see that rod tip just thump this. Obviously this is going to depend on what rod you're using, but if you're using a really sensitive ultralight rod like I am, just want a nice consistent thump, and it's good to vary your speed. You know, do stop, go, stop, go. Also change your direction, do like Z's in the water. The fish really like it when you mix it up. So I've actually found more recently that I'm getting hookups when I stop pedaling and it starts to slow down. Alright, so last thing is when you get a bite. So when you see that rod tip bouncing, do not pull the rod out and set the hook. You do not set the hook with trolling. In fact, what I like to do is just give a couple pumps if I'm on a pedal drive kayak, or a couple strokes if I'm on a paddle, just to get that hook set in its mouth. So make sure that you have a fish on there for a couple seconds, and then you can pick up the rod. Start reeling really slowly, because you have to think, you've got a lot of line out there and you do not want to be yanking it around. You want to keep constant pressure though, so make sure that that rod is bent, but you want to reel slowly, so just take your time. And don't be discouraged if the fish pops off. I had that happen a lot more with trolling than I do with regular cast and retrieve. A lot of the time I'll miss them right at the boat as I'm about to grab my net, and it just happens with trolling. My advice is, if you do get a hookup and you do have the fish pop off, get yourself situated with your kayak, put some new bait on, turn your kayak around or wherever you were, and get right back to that zone that you were, because there's high chance that there's going to be a lot of fish there. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. I just want to go over that setup again and just talk about why it's a good setup for beginners. And the reason is because it's modular. I have it set up to where you have all these quick releases. So if I want to switch my weight, I just get another ball that's hooked up to a swivel and pop it right on. You know, if it gets windy or I need to get down to a better depth, things aren't working out, switch it out easy. Same with your Dodger. Just got it on quick release, and they come real like this, so if you find out that you want to try a different Dodger and you have it in your tackle box, you use it, just unclip. And then same with your lures. So like I said, I've been using this specific wedding ring quite a bit lately, but I have a couple other ones that I've used that produce good, and it's really easy. It takes a couple seconds just to switch it out. Especially on a kayak, trolling this setup, or just trolling in general, can be kind of a hassle getting everything switched out at times, but I find this is as easy as it's gonna get. I think that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any questions about how to troll from a kayak for lake fishing, feel free to shoot me a comment or message me. I'll leave my email too. Otherwise, I am going to get back to fishing. So if you want to see me catch more fish, keep watching. Thanks, guys. Another one goes. Fish on, guys, fish on. Oh, that's a big one too. Oh my god, that's a fish. Woo. A fucking trout? Oh my god. Crazy. Guys. I think he's gonna live. Ooh, poor guy.